blew up when a 19-year-old girl came out recently and accused Chris Wu of alleged sexual assault and rape of her and possibly 30 other girls.
Singer-songwriter Jonah's conviction also includes filming the assault and distributing the video.
When Jackson was arriving at Xiamen Airport, a group of Sasaengs actually crashed their car into the back of Jackson's vehicle.
Hello everyone, it's Yuki, and today we're going to talk about parasocial relationships and K-pop. This video is made by keeping psychology in mind. I have no intention to defend toxic behavior like obsessive stalking and violating someone's personal space. Rather, this video is focusing on understanding the causes behind why a lot of these things keep happening. This is not going to be one of those videos in which people completely deny the parasocial side of the industry and bash the people who fell for it. When complete industry is based on the dreamy side of idols, the entire industry profits off of the vulnerability of teenage girls who are developing their identities and are at the most vulnerable stage. Also, this is not gonna be demonizing the complete industry. It is rather a case study exploring both the sides of the coin. After watching this, you can form an opinion of your own. Also, I'm gonna state my opinions regarding each matter, but take those with a grain of salt because you are entitled to your own opinion. And since it's a discussion, you are allowed to disagree. To understand this phenomenon in K-pop, we need to dissect and know more about parasocial relationships first. Parasocial relationships are an extremely common type of one-sided relationships where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time to the other party. The persona is completely unaware of others' existence. Usually, the media persona provides illusions of intimacy, friendship, identification, or self-disclosure. The haters of the media figure also have a negative type of parasocial relationship with the person. These relationships aren't anything new. These have been happening since forever. The term was first coined in 1950s. At first, these used to happen with television personas, cartoon characters, fictional characters, religious leaders, etc. Now, they are happening mostly with media personas. There are multiple dynamics to these relationships. We see different types of media personas, specifically in music industry. There is the type of musicians like Cigarettes After Sex, Frank Ocean, Shiloh Dynasty, who are completely secretive about their personal lives. Every moment they're paranoid and don't want anyone to invade their personal space. There are artists like Marshmello, Alan Walker, who don't even reveal their identities and stay a mystery. There are a lot of artists whose personas aren't a huge part of selling point of their music. Examples would be NF, Joji, Nicki, etc. Then there are artists who do have personas and brand images. Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Billie Eilish, Lizzo all have their online personas. Although the music is really good, still image plays a huge role in selling their music. Lizzo's online persona is extremely appealing to women of body positivity movement. Billie Eilish has her own set of teens with similar age demographics as hers, supporting her. Cardi B has that mixture of I'm a bad lady and the sex appeal that people are drawn to. The stronger the personas are, the more the music sells. One really common persona that is prevalent throughout the generations is the ideal boyfriend trope. It starts from Elvis Presley, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, One Direction, Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes. These are extremely handsome men who appeal to a mass audience and sing love songs, calling females pretty and stuff and making them think that they can be lucky fangirl whom they would marry. They end up having extremely successful careers ahead, and it's okay until and unless it's harming someone. I am not a believer or anything, but I must admit the dude has pretty voice and makes really good albums. K-pop boy bands have their share of pretty boys as well, and they train really hard to debut. Company tries the best they can to promote these artists, even though it means feeding into this fantasy. As long as talented people are getting a chance to create and present their art, the situation is pretty dope. The art is being appreciated, they are happy, the fangirls are happy, or are they? To form an opinion on the situation, we need to dissect parasocial relationships more. Parasocial relationships are really normal and even healthy to some extent. We are human beings, so when we are presented with a persona through audio or video, we seek to form a bond with them. Usually the way we interact with parasocial personas complement our current social interactions. We also need to consider the audience to which these relationships are targeted at. K-pop boy groups are meant to initially target the Korean and Japanese teenagers and adults, but not people after 30. I have K-pop YouTube channel, and most of the people who consume K-pop content lie between the age of 16 to 24. We need to keep in mind that most Korean children do not date a lot till they get into a good college. Koreans do focus a lot on academics. Most Korean students don't have time to date because of their insanely packed schedules. So they have this void of relationship they try to fill in with their K-pop quote-unquote oppas. Also, I must add that mental health in these two countries is messed up. These two countries have one of the biggest self-harm rate on earth. People don't really feel comfortable talking about their problems. When you put your children under that much stress and pressure, you need to take care of their mental health. But mental health is like a taboo topic in most of Asia. It's usually like, oh, something went wrong, get over it, stop thinking about it too much. But the truth is, that is not possible to ignore mental health conditions and call your life quote-unquote healthy. As someone who comes from a country in which the self-harm rate among teens is really high, I totally empathize with it because my country has a student skimming system. Since the population is too high, so only a little amount of people have chance of a nice life, and that is entirely dependent on what college you go to by passing an extremely hard examination. If you get into a bad college, the entire society looks down on you, as well as you start seeing your entire life shatter in front of your own eyes, because the government is incapable of creating more jobs. So self-harm is really common. This summer, one of my friends from school harmed herself and isn't here with us anymore. So that was really sad. Also, Korea has a bullying problem amongst high school students, along with tiger parenting. Tiger parenting is fairly common practice in Asia, in which parents are extremely strict with their children about grades. Scolding and spanking is commonly done. It does work, making them successful in terms of money, but the person ends up with adverse effects on mental health. Some of those include self-esteem issues, low self-worth, questioning of decisions in middle life because you had been so used to wanting to have parental approval in everything. Now students going through all of this turn to K-pop idols for comfort because all things they say or do is structured around pleasing the fans and making their days better. As a result, fans can become overly attached. Now let's talk about benefits of parasocial relationship. Number one would be obviously making someone feel better after a long day. K-pop idols are monitored by fans a lot, so they can be good role models for young children and can inspire people for singing and dancing. A lot of idols talk about their struggles. Suga, in his mixtape, talked about several taboo topics and it just makes you realize that you're not alone. Also, a lot of social interactions people have, there is a fear of rejection, and for people with social anxiety, the parasocial relationships are comfortable, providing a sense of support. There is also a healthy empathy factor, and these relationships furthermore encourage discussions about a lot of taboo topics. When Jonghyun passed away, there were several communities who encouraged discussions about mental health and stopping unnecessary hate towards the public figures you know nothing about. They also help in identity formation. There are a lot of people who struggle with their identities and sexual orientation. When you see media figures who feel comfortable coming out and getting support, it just makes you feel confident and about next steps. Take the first publicly gay idol, Holland, for example. Even though he is getting a lot of hate from conservative Koreans, he is still thriving and getting love from some Koreans and a lot of international netizens. Therefore, he is actually leading Korea towards progressing forward. Trans icons like Marsha P. Johnson had made so many people comfortable with being who they are in the West. So parasocial relationships play an important role in extension of ideas and making it a forward society. Since this is how relation goes like. Oh my god, my favorite idol is passionate about supporting this community, so I must look up to what he considers important and why he considers it important. Another thing that I have noticed is less amount of hate and fans not allowing extreme negativity to go through. A lot of times fans can be overprotective and defend wrong things, but a lot of times they do defend a lot of right things. They try letting the least amount of hate to go to the idols. Since K-pop idols have more close parasocial relationships with their viewers as compared to other industries. Because if you look at the Bollywood celebrities, people literally treat them as punching bags, and a vast majority doesn't defend them. Because most people are genuinely jealous of them and don't think that anything can hurt a person if they have money and fame. You can literally look at comment sections of Bollywood celebrity interviews and stuff. Take Sonam Kapoor's Vogue interview for example. She was cyberbullied for merely existing and doing her makeup in front of camera because a lot of her audience doesn't really have a life. So they want her life instead. Compared to that, K-pop community does defend idols a lot. I mean, hate is inevitable, but at least hate is monitored and people do stand up for the idols. Now let's talk about the negative consequences, because there are a lot of them for sure. Number one is body image. Human beings are attracted to pretty things. Media preys on attention and what appeals to the crowds the most. In return, several filters are put on and perception of what is attractive and what is unattractive is made. Therefore, the consumer starts comparing themselves with the K-pop idols and the people presented on the screen. Mass amount of people trying dangerous K-pop diets is a huge effect of this. Also, by making people that way, the beauty and fashion industry thrives by which celebrity looks now seem achievable. Therefore, they make these celebrities the face of the brand. In my opinion, the brand endorsements are fine because we don't necessarily live in an utopian society where everybody judges the next person by their personality at the first glance, because the truth is that the whole world is just shallow at this point. It was shallow before, but now it has become more shallow, so no one can blame humans for trying to keep up. Get that coin with the brand deal, sis. The second one would be aggression. When you aren't able to reach or communicate the media persona, when your parasocial relationship becomes intense, it starts giving you frustration. Normal relationships are two-sided, so they don't result in the feeling that way. Obsessive stalking and wanted to cross boundaries become the end result, about which we'll talk later. Extremely strong parasociality is the result of loneliness, dissatisfaction in our own relationship, toxic relationships, emotional instability, inability to trust people. Therefore, people search for alternatives that make them feel better. Extreme defense and inability to hand criticism is one of the most important characteristics, and even though the music is subjective, a lot of people can't even take constructive criticism about their group. A lot of fans start thinking that their favorite celebrities have like the same offline persona as their online persona and start believing that this person can do no wrong. The Chris Wu scandal might be the perfect example for it. A lot of people start attacking the victims in the situation, even though there was a possibility that he might have harmed multiple females, including minors, because they were so much sold on the fact that Chris Wu is like a perfect human being, so he can do no wrong. A lot of these idols have these really big responsibilities of not exploiting the people who follow them, even though there might be some people who are responsible enough to not take advantage of the power they have been given. The truth is, a lot of them aren't and might emotionally or even physically exploit the person who is not in power. There is this power imbalance in which this person has the ability to sweep the most heinous things under the rug. This person has this social status, a lot of money, and their agencies would put protecting that personality, image, and reputation over the victim. Therefore, actually dating an idol would put that person on a really sensitive spot. Also, public isn't going to attack their favorite idol as much as they would attack you. They would feel hurt because these idols were selling them their availability for years, and the fans were kinda leaning on to the idols. Especially if you're a female, people would villainize you more since it's very easy for women to hate other women. Stalking and going to really long lengths to get the attention of the person is actually one of the creepiest things that happen. Some people start thinking it's okay to invade someone's privacy like that. I really wanted the information in the next part to be accurate, so I did quote a lot of it from various articles, which I will link in the description. A sassing fan is an obsessive fan who stalks or engages in other behavior constituting an invasion of the privacy of celebrities, specifically Korean celebrities, drama actors, or other public figures. They'll even go as far as posting the idol's whereabouts on their social media accounts and selling an idol's personal information on the internet. Sassing fans are described as often being female, aged 13 to 22, and driven to commit what in some cases may amount to borderline criminal acts in order to gain attention from celebrities. Examples of such acts include seeking out celebrities at their dorms or homes, stealing their personal belongings or information, harassing family members, and sending idols inappropriate gifts such as lingerie. Girls' Generation Taeyeon was almost kidnapped on stage during a performance in 2011. In 2011, two members of band Super Junior were caught in 6-car collision after being chased by 8 fan vehicles in Singapore. The band members Hee-tak and Hee-chul were unharmed, but Hee-chul later tweeted that he suffered after effects from the incident and was often afraid to drive. In 2013, Seungri from the band Big Bang suffered minor injuries in the car accident in Shanghai involving a sassing fan. In 2015, Chanyeol of the band EXO wrote on Weibo that he was constantly followed by 20 fan vehicles during his visit to Shanghai. In 2016, Jackson of GOT7 sustained minor injuries in the car accident on the way to an airport in China, involved a fan closely following his car. Idols including Jung Young-hwa, I probably butchered his name, of CN Blue, Zico, Block B, Junho from 2PM, and Lay of EXO have reported incidents of sassing fans following them home or attempting to break in to their dorms and homes. In 2014, a fan unlawfully entered singer So Taeji's home and was found sitting in the singer's car when police arrived. In November 2009, a fan of boy group 2PM member Ok Taecyeon posted writing in blood later reported to be menstrual blood as proof of her adulation. This obsessive behavior toward the celebrity led to criticism of her actions, including the other 2PM fans. In December 2009, an obsessive fan of M Black's Lee Jun, I don't know how to pronounce that, wrote and posted a message written in blood on social media. The message read, "Don't forget Min, Lee Chang-sun. I only have you, I love you." She cited the 2PM blood writing incident as impetus and motive of her act, writing in her caption, "What was that Ok Taecyeon flash blood writing? Period blood is so gross. I'll show you what real blood writing is." In January 2010, an obsessive fan of girl group Wonder Girls cut her wrist and used her own blood to write, "Come back, Wonder Girls." She posted a picture of her face half covered by her hand, showing the blood writing and the scar on her wrist. BTS and EXO continue to be one of the most stalked idols in history. This behavior is just straight up gross. These people must stop immediately. If you're assessing, stop harming the idols and yourself both. Agge fans. Agge fans is a nickname for K-pop fans who only love one member of boy band or a girl group. Unfortunately, their bad habit is insulting the other members whom they don't like from a girl group or the boy band. Agge fans might start group chats insulting the other members of the group, might leave malicious comments, and might do malicious things to harm the other group members or their reputation. Blackpink actually has one of the highest amount of Agge fans since they carry a lot of solo activities. Jennie, for example, was the first one to get a solo among all the Blackpink members, and the hate that was given to her was unbelievable. Now when Lisa had a solo, all the fuss about Jennie in Thai media is being made, where they are unnecessarily dragging Jennie. The worst part is due to unnecessary Twitter fights like these, you are actually ruining the real, genuine friendships because of this culture of insulting someone to bring someone up. A lot of friendships might have been ruined in the past before, and public didn't even realize those. Parasocial breakups is a really interesting topic to cover. Initially, a person initiates the relationship without second party knowing. Most of the time, it's the same person who cuts ties with the media persona mentally. It is interesting that the way these breakups happen mentally is similar to the real life breakups. Falling out of love, cheating.
So your ID look like you're into NCT's Jaehyun, right?
Yes.
What happened?
What do you mean?
I mean, you said you love me, but
Um,
you're into the other guy. It means you're cheating on me.
Oh.
Finding new love in real life or finding some new parasocial partner just in case the current partner does something wrong. Therefore, The idols have to be extra careful to protect their parasocial quote-unquote lovers, or else the amount of backlash they get is insane. All the companies care about is taking out the maximum amount of profit from these idols. They don't care about idols' mental health as much. The public couples got the insane amount of backlash. They include Bacon from EXO and Taeyeon from Girls' Generation, Hyuna and E'Dawn, Chen from EXO and Bobby from iKON, who are both happily married fathers now, met with insane amount of backlash. These parasocial relationships exist in the first place because the person is unhappy in real life. They go to these extreme extents because of loneliness, dissatisfaction in their own life, emotional instability, finding the person you are in a relationship with unattractive. Therefore, they find parasocial alternatives. If you are in obsessive stage of parasocial relationships, try taking a step back. Put your own physical and mental health first. Try diverting your mind. Try doing things you always wanted to do. Notice the love around you. Try improving your real life relationships. Breathe. Go to a therapist. Focus on yourself. Just try finding inner peace. So, how do K-pop companies do it? How do they manage to gather the support on the basis of rising teenage hormones? Boyfriend calls and boyfriend V-lives. These are POV calls and V-lives where K-pop idols act as your boyfriend and has a conversation with you the way you expect your boyfriend to talk.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm right in front of your house, come out. It's Valentine's Day. Got some coffee. It's fine, whatever. The weather's really great too. Come on, come out. Okay, I'll be right here.
Hey, it's me. Happy Valentine's Day. Woo! It's already Valentine's. It's nighttime over here, by the way. You might be busy right now, but I wanted to leave a message. Oh, it's Valentine's, though we can't be with each other right now in person. I'll always think of you in the heart. I miss you a lot. But we'll meet each other next time. Be safe, you know, how I always worry. Always gotta be safe. I'll call you back.
Yeah, these actually exist and multiple boy groups do it. Anyways, here is NCT cringing while doing those.
Yo, what are you doing? Come out.
明日一緒にジョギングなんかどう？
너무 싫어.
잠깐만 한 번만 대사 좀 생각하고. 아 그거 못하겠어. 이렇게 개강이 기다려질 때니까 처음이네 못하겠어.
뭐 하고 있었어? 아, 잠깐만.
다시 할게.
우리 이따가 만날까?
Hey. 다시 할게요. I was just wondering if you guys were okay. 나 죄송하다. Sincerely, happy birthday. 뭐야?
Fan signs. Here fans get to meet the idols while interacting with them, holding hands and stuff is pretty common. Fans bring their idols gifts and it's like a wholesome interaction. Covering songs from other groups is pretty common and helps exchanging fans from one group to other. Superm was a supergroup formed by SM Entertainment by combining some of their most popular members from 4 groups, which are EXO, SHINee, and 2 units of NCT into one group, and that helped the fans to become interested in the other groups. Fan service. There is a lot of content made by these groups in order to promote their music, through which you get to know their personality. They do a lot of these variety shows, post vlogs, make fan content with group, do interviews, participate in reality shows and competitions, do V lives and Instagram lives to connect with their fans. It's just a way too much content provided in order for you to know their personality. To be honest, a lot of it is quite entertaining, and if a group is funny, then it's kind of becomes something for you to watch and have a good time with your favorite artist.
Chicken. Too big. Oh my god, I can't stand this anymore. I can show you the world! I can show you the world! I can show you the world!
So what do we take from this? The conclusion is, I'm not here to say that K-pop is bad or every move that company does has malicious intent behind it. But since it is consumed by a lot of people, I made this video in order to make people aware of what phenomenon is happening inside their head and what is the worst thing that has happened because of the things that were blown out of proportion. You don't have to feel guilty for consuming too much fan content, because it is the content made available by companies for fans to consume. But also I need to give a quick reminder that it is just music, it is just a form of entertainment. You cannot let a form of entertainment consume your entire life, because it is unhealthy. Enjoy fan service because it is there for you to enjoy. Go to fan signs, buy albums. It's alright if you have a crush on these idols. It's alright if you read fan fictions which are not disturbing. Enjoy the good music they produce, because not gonna lie, they produce bops. You have been presented with various human beings with a variety of personalities. It's okay, and it's only natural for you to feel a certain way. Go ahead and support your favorite artists, but don't stalk them, because we both know that it's not gonna lead you anywhere. You will just end up harming yourself and your favorite idol emotionally. Nobody likes their privacy taken away. Make sure that nobody uses you and takes advantage of your emotions though. Just know that you only know one part of their entire personality. Don't be stupid and be aware of what is going on. If idol brings you comfort, then it's fine, but make sure that they're helping you to improve and grow. And lastly, make sure that you're always putting out positive energy in the world. Put yourself first, put your career, physical and mental health first, because the sole purpose of entertainment in your life is to cope, for you to cope, have people to look up to, have additional serotonin boost. So let it be that, don't go overboard. With this, I conclude the video. See you guys next time.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice.